Now, most financial plans don't fail because of bad assumptions. They struggle when real life doesn't follow the script. Happy Friday, everybody. Today is May 1st, 2026, and this is your Friday planning video. Now, as we begin May, I want to shift the conversation in a very intentional way. Over the past few months, we've focused on structure, getting organized, understanding where things stand, and using tax season as a checkpoint, not just a deadline. That work does matter. It creates clarity. But once that clarity is in place, the next step is not more analysis. The next step is understanding how that plan holds up in real life. And real life doesn't move in straight lines. Careers evolve, opportunities appear that were never part of the original plan, expenses show up at times that are not always convenient. Timelines shift, sometimes gradually, sometimes all at once. And when those things happen, there's a very natural reaction, a feeling that something's off, that something needs attention, that something may need to be changed quickly. But that reaction also often comes from misunderstanding what a financial plan is designed to do. A well-constructed plan is not designed to avoid change. It's designed to absorb that change. Let me explain what I mean by that in a more practical way. If your plan only works when everything happens exactly as expected, then it's not a plan. It's a projection. A real plan assumes movement. It assumes that timing will not be perfect. It assumes that decisions will evolve. It assumes that life will introduce variables that were not originally considered. And instead of breaking under that pressure, it adapts. I had a conversation recently with someone who experienced a shift in their timeline. Something important happened earlier than expected. And their first instinct was to question the entire plan. But when we walked through it carefully, something became very, very clear. The long-term direction had not changed. The goals were still the same. The structure still supported those goals. The destination had not moved. What changed was the sequence. And that's an important distinction because when the sequence changes, it can feel like the plan is no longer working, but often it's simply working differently. This is where discipline becomes real, not in reacting faster, but in slowing down enough to understand what actually changed and what did not. Because most of the time, the biggest risk is not the change itself. It's the reaction to that risk, overcorrection, introducing new decisions that were not necessary, trying to fix something that was never broken. So as we move into May, I want you to carry a slightly different mindset. When something shifts, resist the urge to immediately act. Instead, start with this question. Has my long-term direction actually changed? If the answer is yes, then adjustment's appropriate. But if the answer is no, then the plan may not need to change at all. What may need to change is your expectation of how that plan actually unfolds. And that's a much more manageable adjustment because long-term success is not about following a perfect path. It's about staying on the right path, even when it looks different than it's expected. A strong financial plan is not built for perfect conditions. It's built to stay on track when life changes. Have a great weekend.